And live. Hey, we're just checking for sound. 2 seconds. Morning, everybody. Hold on.
What's the weather doing today?
It's absolutely freezing cold, but beautiful. The drive up from Bristol to Wotton-under-edge this morning was fantastic.
Yes, we have sound.
Yeah, we're all sound checked and we're all in. So good morning, campers. Welcome to another slice of Friday shop life. We've only got 4 weeks to go till we close the doors on this shop to the public. Oof. It's been a real roller coaster of emotions. It's really strange. I'm getting more and more people coming in to say goodbye and to thank us for being in the high street for so long and to say that they're going to miss us. And it's very emotional when they come in. It gets me choked up every single time and I'm sort of holding it together. But at the same time, I was driving up here this morning and realising that whenever you have a void, something always rushes in to fill it. And whilst I've got no hard plan for what happens after I close the shop, I am aware that things are starting to make murmurs and that potentially I could end up being busier in some ways than I am when I'm tied to the shop. And for the first time, really, I allowed myself to be a little bit excited by the prospect of what could come in to fill the gap of where the shop has been. So, yeah, 1 minute I'm like, I'm going to miss everybody. And the next minute I'm like, yay, there's something very exciting about the unknown and not really knowing how it's going to be, but being open to whatever could possibly happen. It looks like Karen's watching. Morning, Karen. I've just left you a voicemail. Happy Friday, darling. So yes, it's been a good 3 days. I had a very productive Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday at home. I did all those horrible jobs. You know, the ones where you have to make a phone call to Octopus Energy to arrange a refund and you have to go through 65 different options. And it always seems like they're trying to trick you up because you go to option 1 and then they say there'll be 5 options and includes in it the option 1 again. And you just think, Anyway, after you've given your blood type and your inside leg measurement and everything else, you finally get through. And I have to say that if you're not with Octopus, I don't know why I'm giving them such a massive plug, but they are really, really good. Great company to deal with. You can get through to a human being and they are super efficient. So if you're thinking who to go with, they're great.
If Fiona's praising a company, it must be
I know.
good.
And that's even though I had to go through 65 options to get to a human being, but it was worth the wait. They were brilliant. And there was somebody else that I had to make a horrible phone call to. Oh, I know, trying to sort of get through to your mortgage company and things like that. But actually, I did all those jobs and I'd lost something which was terribly important. I won't say what, but it was terribly important. And
Your
I
mind.
tried. My mind, yes, my mind. I did try and stay calm. I kept thinking, it will turn up, it will turn up, don't panic. And at the point where I was just about to sort of lose it completely, my mind that is, I found the thing. And I've never been so joyful and so relieved. And it saved me so much work. I was so pleased. So yes, it turned out to be a good week. And I cleaned the house and I painted a sideboard and I played pretty and I had the best time. It was all really, really good. So for some reason I'm on a high at the moment, which is good. And we've sold a couple of things that have come in and more or less gone straight away. Got a few nice bits to show you today. There is still a lot of stuff coming into the shop. Maybe smaller things at the moment than the bigger items, but yeah, they're still coming in because we still will be trading. As I've probably said, and people are bored with hearing it, we are going to have our concession at the Malthouse in Stroud. That will be our physical presence. If you haven't been, definitely worth going. Great cafe. Take you a good 2 hours wandering around all the lovely concessions full of antiques and vintage. And
Free parking.
Free parking. Great cake. And the other thing to say, shot into my mind and now it's completely shot out again. That's what happens with me. What was I going to say, Ginge? Can you remember?
We were going to remind everyone about the Facebook page.
Yes, Facebook page. Somebody mentioned to us during the week that they hadn't realised that our Facebook page, our original one, Fifi's Fancy Furniture, had been hacked and we lost our 4,500 followers. It was a black time for me, I can tell you. We never managed to get it back. I tried everything, spent a load of money trying to get it restored, and it didn't work. So we then went to Fifi's Fancy Furniture Second, 2ND. So if you're wondering why you didn't see anything, it's because we changed over to that, and some people just haven't realised. So if you, obviously you're following us if you're watching this, but if you know anybody who might be following our old page and wondering where we've gone, it is Fifi's Fancy Furniture Second. And that's it as far as the announcements are concerned, I think. I am going to do a sale of some of the Frenchic paints. Now, we haven't included these at all, but we are going to include the original range, which is still my favourite range, funnily enough. It's the proper chalk paint, and it does need to be sealed with wax or with finishing coat, both of which we sell. But a lot of people tend to prefer the Lazy range or our Fresco because those products are self-priming, self-leveling and self-finishing. So they're pretty easy to use. This is easy to use, but it just involves an extra process. And I suppose you could say it does involve an extra expense because you have to buy the wax or the finishing coat. So we are going to have a sale of the original range of paints, and there'll be 20% off those. I'm going to put a big basket in the middle of the room. They'll all be in it. So if you fancy coming and getting yourself one of these, then come in as soon as you can, because I suspect that these will go very quickly. If you're somebody who likes to do lots of different techniques and you quite like texture and things like that, then this is the paint to use. So 20% off the original range. The other ranges will just remain at the normal prices. So there is still a 20% off sale in just about everything in the shop, with just a few exceptions. But if you see anything you like on a walk round, give us a call. And if you can come in and see us, that would be great. We're open on Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays from 10 until 5. And we've only got 4 weeks to go of a real live physical presence here on this wonderful high street that is Wotton-under-edge, and it's full of little independent shops, independent cafes, and some great pubs, and an auction house, and a cinema, and a swimming pool, and what else? We've got almshouses and a lovely little alms, church.
Pub food.
Yeah, great pub food. It's worth mentioning the Falcon at the bottom of the high street. Great reviews, and they grow their own steak. They farm their own steak. I'm vegan. No, I'm not. I'm vegetarian. My sister's vegan, so it does nothing for us, unfortunately. But if you like steak, that's the place to go. Right, we've banged the drum for Wotton.
And also find us on eBay, because that's where...
Yes, we're on eBay. We haven't done a lot on eBay until now, and that's been largely down to me not cooperating fully with my sister, who's a whiz at doing all that stuff.
Doesn't do what I tell her to do.
No, I'm very disobedient. But obviously once the shop closed, we will be revving up on the eBay site as well, and we will put everything on Instagram, Facebook and eBay, and we will have a collection point from either at the Malt House or from my house, which is on the outskirts of Bristol, or we can deliver. We can sort something out. So on that note, James, I'm afraid you're going to have to put Paddy back down on the ground. He's very wintry dressed in your winter coat today, aren't you, my little boy? Hey? I've got him for the night on the 30th.
Oh no, that's cancelled.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking forward to having him. Oh well, we'll have to make up another event. So we can have a wander around. The paint came in last night, so excuse the boxes. I haven't had a chance to unwrap them yet, but that's my first job today. We have got all sorts of bits and pieces coming in. I've got these beautiful conch shells that came from a house clearance. I've got to clean them all and put those on the system. We've got a little heavy duck cast iron doorstop thing here for £12.95. Still got the beautiful decoys. I put this little resin sitting chicken on yesterday, which I think is really cute. That's £32.95. Bearing in mind that there's 20% off all these prices that I'm quoting. This came in yesterday. Now this won't have 20% off. This is just gorgeous. Paddy, come here. Come on. So these panels have been painted by Belinda Downs, who's the local artist, and she's done such a pretty job of this. It looks so lovely. And Nick painted the outside, and we've done it, or he did it, in Salt of the Earth from the Lazy range, and then painted the inside in Old Blue Eyes from the Alfresco range. So it's all been beautifully painted. You've got shells that move up and down. And this is going on at 450. We've browning waxed it. I'm still going to do a little bit of extra browning wax just to provide some shading around these panels. It literally came in yesterday at about 4 o'clock. Haven't put it on the system yet, but I will. But that is a really lovely little painted credenza. It's on supports underneath, bun feet, and we've put some wedges underneath that because the floor in here is literally downhill and up dales, so we have to support it to keep it level. So that will go on later on today. Over here, what have we got? We've got the Christmas baubles. These are unbreakable. They're, well, not unbreakable, but they're shatterproof. These are on for £1.95 each, and there's 20% off those as well. We've got these little gold glitter angels. They're covered in glitter. You can hang them on a tree or just freestand. Those are £9.95, and those have got 20% off as well. If you're like me and you're not especially inclined towards Christmas, then the glitter gives me itchies. I just, drives me mad. But anyway, I'm sure somebody's going to love them. Little bits and pieces here. I'll let Jean zoom in on those. This is a bit different. This is, it's an old, what do we call these things? Not a bust, it's a mannequin. It's an old styled mannequin, and we've swaddled it using plaster bandages. And I'm thinking that I'm going to use some defining wax on this, which will bring out all the texture. I don't really know why I did it. I just liked it. I like the silver plate up here. And I just feel it's a bit sort of sculpture-ish. Probably just having a funny 5 minutes, and I'd probably get over it. But I will do that before long. And of course, this one is just modelling the lovely Frenchic cap, which is available, brand new. The model here with this 6-pack is on for £135, but there is 20% off that. The lamp here, French lamp. I love the lampshade. It's got these little flower ribbon roses on it. That's on for £48.95. It's all been pack tested. You could, of course, change the lampshade if you wanted to. Got the lovely pediment here at the back. This came off the top of our display cabinet, which I'm gradually now starting to dismantle, and that's on for £115. It's been painted and browning waxed. Still got this lovely prayer chair. I believe that you kneel on it this way and put your arms through and you can pray. I do it most days. I pray for customers to come in and buy everything, and that's on for £145. And I have to say, these, if you paint the frame up with that lovely barley twist and the lovely legs, I would paint that in black, I think, from the Lazy range. And then you change the fabric for something really, really way out and flamboyant. They can look fantastic. Or even if you just did it with a very neutral fabric against the black, look very sophisticated and looks lovely in the corner of a room. Still got this glassware here. I think we've spoken about this before. It's actually on here for £7.95, believe it or not. It's the pitcher, the bowl, and the six, what do you call those? Beakers, mugs, glasses. Really lovely feel to these, and they're made by a well-known Scottish glassmaker, and they're all signed and dated. The same set, but with just a different design on them on the internet, are over £1,000. We've got 20% off this, and I'll do more if somebody's interested. But when the light shines on these, those little spots of glass, they absolutely light up and it looks beautiful. We did finally get rid of our lovely art cabinet there with the mirror back. That's gone. We've got a Christmas plank here. Everybody's got to have a Christmas plank, a bit of fun. That's on for £9.95, but there's 20% off that. Got lots of artwork, 20% off those. Right. Anything else up here? No, probably not. Let's go and have a wander down. It's very, very echoey down here. Those of you that follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you may have seen me painting the mystery object. It's actually one of a pair. It's a little elephant table. What do you think of that, Pads? And they were in pretty poor condition, but I've worked on them, and now this one is ready. I haven't put it on the system yet. I'll be selling them each, but there are two. So if somebody wanted to use them as a lamp table, they could, or a little side table, or even a seat, because it's perfectly able to cope with my weight, so that's no problem. Big stools here. How much are those on for? They're on for £65 each, or 120 for the pair, 20% off. Put a copper kettle on yesterday, £32.95, 10% off. Boot scraper, really useful thing to have. Nice little wooden box here with some good stencils on them. £9.95, 20% off that. I sold one of the Christmas tree support things yesterday. That's on for £10, but we got a discount on that. This table is a really nice pedestal table. It's going to be on 40 quid, or somebody make me an offer. It pulls apart, but when it pushes back in together, it locks into place. This just needs a sand, and you can actually see a line going around it where there was a change of the wood. And if I was going to paint this now, I'd probably paint it in something like the Olivia, which is the olivey green colour. And then I would scribe around that with a pencil and paint the out of it in gold, or put some gold leaf on it, and then browning wax over the top of it. And I think that would look amazing. So a good project piece if somebody's interested. This little table on here, this is on for 85, little console table. Could easily be painted over if somebody didn't like the colour, but I love the big lines. But do you remember we had this one, Jin? We got this one a long time ago, and I didn't do anything with it for ages, and we went somewhere near where you used to live, down by your old cottage, your old house.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, that's going back a while now. This was hanging in our window yesterday. There's a proper hook up there, and it is a mystery to me how it fell off. I have no idea, but I don't think I'm going to bother to put it back up again, because if it can fall off, which I thought was a very secure hook, I'm a bit nervous about what it might knock over. So if anybody wants a Christmas deck, we'll do that one for £30 and 20% off that, so whatever that works out as. Got a few project pieces here which I haven't put on yet. This is a really sturdy little oak side table or stool or seat. Nora Batties, I call her. Her name is Rosa Bolton. I think she's lovely, and if she doesn't sell by the time we close the shop, she's going to end up on my kitchen windowsill. But she's 19th century, really lovely, and she's on for £275, but we'll have the discount. Lovely stool here. This would have been something like a worker's stool or a weaver's stool. It's on for £155. It's got the maker's badge here. It's hard to read, but it is on there. And you can see where these bottom struts have worn from people sitting on them and putting their feet on them. It's a nice size stool, that one. It works well. Right, we've got Claudette wearing a camel coat. The camel coat is on our system. I can't remember. I think it was on for 55. It's a Zara coat, size 8. Hardly been worn. It's in really good condition. So if somebody fancies that, or if they fancy Claudette, I fancy Claudette. I think she's fabulous. Look at that hair and that sleek style. She is just super cool. These big benches. These are the ones that I've been using to trundle things in and out most days. I've stopped putting things outside now because I've got room to keep it all indoors. These are on for £134.95, and we will do the discount on them. They've got really big casters with brakes on, and I think that these would be great in a workroom or in the garden. And if you had them as a barbecue, for example, and you could put baskets underneath with all your bits and pieces next to the barbecue, somewhere you can put your plates out on and dish things up and on, or just in a workroom. They're very useful. What else? This little plum pudding chest of drawers, all painted on the inside, all painted on the outside. All the drawers go really, really nicely. £295. We'll do a blinding deal on that. I don't want to have to move it again, so if anybody wants to come in, they can. Got all the jugs going on here. I've got another set, a full set of these jugs, and those are on for £58.95 for the set of 3, as are those. And they make great posy jugs. And again, discount on that. Boring, 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 saying 20% off all the time. But it's a really good time to come in and grab something whilst we're still here. Look at the details on this, Ginge. Look at the, isn't it gorgeous? The lovely garlands and the little cherubs. They're really heavy, precast concrete, I guess that is. Got the drainage hole in the bottom, £144.95 with 20% off. that's it, I think, pretty much. Great big mirror here. Look at this.
Fiona LP is saying good morning.
Morning, Fee. How are you doing, my lovely? I'll be seeing you soon. So this has been reduced to 450. We could do a little bit extra on that one. This I always think looks like proper Cotswold stone, but it is actually made from wood. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It is.
Looks like one of those sort of mullion windows in a French building. I think that is really lovely.
Pammy Grun saying buenos dias.
Morning, Pammy. How are you, my darling? I hope you're well and everything is good in your world. I'm sure it is. We won't even bother to go out unless you want to look down the high street because it's a bit brr out there.
I don't want
to. And that's it, folks. So anything you can think of that I've missed, Ginge?
No, I think you've done a sterling job as always.
I feel like I can hardly breathe after we finish. But we know what time it is because the dog is wagging his tail because it's treat time. Did we say treat?
We
did, didn't we?
Simon Meadows. Good morning, Fiona.
Morning, Simon.
Where are you, Simon?
Yes, where are you? We're missing you. Come and see
What's
us.
happening?
So, all being well,
Shall I invite you onto the screen? Do you want to come on the screen and chat to us for a little minute?
We gotta go.
Why?
Well, haven't we got to go? I mean, people will be having a life to lead.
Well, I just asked them a question. You can answer. You'll probably say, no, I haven't done my hair. I'm Johnny come lately. Yes, where are you, Simon? Pammy is saying.
Yes,
see?
yes.
Your popular request.
Yes.
You want to come on?
Oh
come on
my
then.
God.
How do we do this? Now.
Oh, now I've told the dog it's treat time, and now he's going to be wondering.
Let me see. How do I? I've got to try to do this without guest requests.
Here we go, Paddy.
You're not you could. Can you do a guest request from your side, Simon?
Good boy.
Because it looks like
that one.
I can't do it from Wotton.
We never know what's going to happen on a live ever.
Saying Wotton. What was Wotton the answer to? Did we ask a question about Wotton?
Did we? God. Oh no. Why doesn't Simon come down and actually take part in one of our lives before we close as a guest speaker? That would be good. By popular demand, Simon.
I thought it would be easy to just click on something and invite you, but apparently you have to come up on this list, and you're not on the list because you haven't been here long enough or something. Not now. I've got better. I knew you'd say that.
Well, there you go. Anything to do with technology.
I asked where he was, and he said Wotton. Thank you, Pam. It's very hard to keep your train of thought when you're doing multiple things. Mike Wingett is saying hello from the sunny Chilterns.
Morning, Mike. Can I just say that when it comes to anything to do with technology, I am the world's worst, and I always assume that it's me being completely useless. But I did discover the other day that actually it's maybe just the way social technology is these days, and it's not always me. It's really not always me.
No,
quite often it's just the systems.
Yeah.
And it drives me insane to the point where I don't want to have anything to do with anything.
Pam's saying there's a button on the left you click lol. It isn't when it's on the live streaming screen, unless you know more than me. I've got a list of viewers I could add, but Simon isn't one of them, so
we'll have to work it out for next time.
Never mind.
But when it comes to doing the social media, if it wasn't for my sister being prepared to come up and give her time freely every Friday morning,
I'll put the bill in,
and pointing the camera, because I couldn't do it all.
Saying that, not Pam. Did I say Pam said
you
that?
did.
Oh,
yes.
God, my brain.
We're all going mad.
We're all
going mad. We're all going to die.
All going mad. Good job the shop's closing, and
we will still carry on doing our lives. That's the bad news, folks, because we don't quite know where they'll be or what they'll be about, but we will still do them. So if you want to find out what life is like after Fifi's Fancy Furniture shop life, we'll have to invent another title for it. It might be Home Life or Hobo Life or something.
Mike Wingett is saying, find an 18-year-old to sort your IT problems.
8-year-old, yes.
18-year-old.
Oh, well, I think 8-year-olds can do it better than I can do it.
So some of the people have got the icon to click to add them to the video, and some of them haven't. I wonder why it's
you can't have any more, Paddy.
That's very odd.
Well, it's all a mystery to me, and thank God I don't have to do it. If it wasn't for Virginia coming up and pointing the camera and doing it, honestly, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, but you've got a lot better now. At least you turn the button to turn it on.
Well, I can't walk and talk and do the photography and think about what I'm having to say. It's bad enough just trying to think what I'm going to have to say in any case. But
I think it's very easy to say the wrong things, as in nouns, because your mind's going on to the next sentence and then you fill in
I don't
the wrong.
even know what a noun is.
Well, if you're talking about a place or a person, and you say a different place or a different person, just because your mind is you're trying to think about what's going. Anyway,
I've never known about adverbs. I know verb is a doing word, but adverbs and things and pronouns and nouns a name, I think. But anything a bit more detailed than that. It's like,
let's ask her how to add up.
Oh, let's not. That's really not my forte at all. In fact, how I've managed to stay in business for the 9.5, 10 years, whatever it is, with my limited knowledge of sums.
That's why we've got calculators.
Some dealers, most dealers, will go and they'll put things aside and they'll be adding up in their head, and then they'll say at the end of it, so how much will you give me for the whole lot, knowing what it would be if they were just adding each individual item. I buy one item and say, and if I wanted to buy that one, how much will that be? Because I can't do the adding up. I just can't. Paddy, you're going to turn into a pie shop at this rate.
Pam this time is saying you can request to join, but I don't think you can invite. Oh, I see.
Well, all these clever people that know all this stuff.
Yes.
Anyway, we're waffling. We shouldn't waffle. People have got lives to live.
So after we finish this, I download it from Facebook and upload it into YouTube. And we'd be very grateful if you could go and subscribe to Fifi's channel so that she can promote that channel. And we'll be doing a lot more of YouTube after the shop is closed. And you might find us over there. It's my preferred platform, but hey, can't complain.
She has to drag me kicking and screaming onto all these different things, and then once I've actually got the hang of it, I actually really quite like it. And that's just the way I am. I can only learn by seeing and doing. I don't learn by reading.
Whereas I learn by just pressing all the buttons.
Yeah, Virginia's just prepared to have a go with anything.
Last resort, read the instructions.
I can't stand reading instructions, and
that's why
I'm frightened of pushing buttons. Paddy,
that's
enough. That is
how
enough.
I learnt how to do anything on the socials is just by pressing the buttons and doing it.
Anyway, God willing, we'll be here next week. And
what date are you closing?
24th of December. I will be out of here on the dot of 1 o'clock. And because I thought I might be a bit moche, I have arranged for my lovely family, Ginger & Co., to come to my house for food and drinks and present exchanging Christmas Eve at 3:30. So I won't have a second to get all maudlin. I'm just going to close the shop, turn the lights off, turn the key, kiss it, and dash home to deal with Christmas.
Tammy is saying, Fifi, how long have you been a Frenchic stockist?
How long have I been? 9.5 years,
wow,
I think it is. More or less. We had it in our first shop, and I had my conversation about it with Pammy herself. And yeah, it was fantastic. And it's been the best thing I have ever done. We will ensure that the Frenchic paint stays in Wotton. Whoever takes this shop over, we hope will take on the Frenchic paint so people know where it is all the time. And if for any reason it's not suitable to have in whoever takes over from here, we will make sure it goes into a shop in
Wotton-under-edge anyway.
And we sell it at our concession in Stroud as well. And of course, if anybody wants paint and they don't know where to get it, they can always phone me.
It'll be on the Facebook, shop.
Yes,
so
yes.
That'll just be a case of finding out if it's in stock and then picking it up from Fifi's. So.
Yes, or if it's a local one, I can deliver. So yeah, it will be around, and it was the best decision I ever made to take on the Frenchic franchise. It was just brilliant. It's the best paint in the world. Love it to bits, and yeah, love you to bits too, Pammy. So
okay, everyone, we're going now.
See you soon. See you next week. Lots of love.
Lots of love. Bye.
Bye.